I'm Lauren with StoneMan Climbing Company, and today I'm going to show you how to clean a route and rappel using a personal anchor system, or a PAS. I just got done climbing this super hard route, and I got to the top. I'm a little worked, so I want to make sure that I anchor in before I tell my belayer that I'm off belay. So I'm going to unclip my PAS from my harness, which is girth hitched already over here. I'm going to clip that in to the top point as high as I can above the anchor. Make sure that I lock my carabiner. I'm then going to take a second piece of gear to make sure that I'm redundant and clip it in to another point on my PAS. Now that I'm safely anchored in, I'm not relying on my belayer anymore, and I can yell, "Off belay." So now that he's told me that I'm off belay, I'm solely relying on my anchor, and I can start to pull up the rope. Now I need to pull up just a little bit of rope so that I can feed it through for my rappel. What I'm going to do, just to secure it so I don't drop the rope, is to tie my overhand on a bight. And I just clip it off on any piece of gear on my harness to make sure that I don't drop it. I'm now going to untie my figure eight, take the figure eight all the way out of the end of the rope, and I can unclip it from my master point because I'm no longer going to be using that. Now I want to set up the rappel. Underneath my anchor and my personal tether, you'll find 2 rappel rings. Sometimes you'll find chains. The gear varies on what you'll find up here to what you're rappelling off of. You take the end and you feed it through both ends of the rappel rings, and you pull the end down. Now I know that my rope is going through both rappel rings. I've got it in my hand, and now I can unclip my overhand on a bight. It's crucial to know that both ends of your rope are on the ground when you're rappelling, but if you have family down there, maybe they're dealing with the kids, they can't help you to determine that both ends of the rope are on the ground. One way you can figure that out is by pulling the rope through to the halfway point. If you do have a belayer down at the bottom that can help, they can tell you when the end of the rope is on the ground. I'm going to pull this rope through. I can't see the end on the ground, so I'm going to keep pulling till I find halfway. I see that it's caught on a ledge, so I'm just going to shake the rope to try to get it off that ledge. It's not necessary to pull the entire rope through because this route was not the half of the rope length, but now that I'm at halfway with my halfway marker, I know for certain that both ends are on the ground. Now that I've confirmed that my ropes are on the ground, I want to clean up my station and take down my anchor. I'm clipped it directly into the bolts, so I'm no longer relying on this anchor. This will help keep a nice, clean workstation when I'm setting up the rappel. Clip the master beaners into a carabiner and put it off to the side that I'm not going to put my brake strands on so that the gear does not get caught in the rope. So now I want to put on my rappel device on my PAS. I'm going to go up 1, 2, 3 loops and clip it in. Before I put my ropes into my rappel device, I'm going to put on my third hand as my backup so that I can test it before I put myself on rappel. So I'm going to do the auto block, but you can do any number of friction hitches that would work. Auto block, climb heist, Prosic, or just some of the few. I want to make sure that I test my friction hitch and it is holding. So I'm going to put my friction hitch into my belay device and lock that. This helps me to pull up the rope so that I can feed it into my belay device and give myself slack to work with. Now to put this into my belay device, I take a bight of rope on both ends, making sure that the top comes out the smooth side and my brake strand is going to come out the front. I pinch both bights and put them through the device. I pull the ropes through the device, making sure that I don't unclip the device. Clip the ropes in and lock the carabiner. I'm going to test it out to make sure that it holds, and it does. I can slide my third hand up just so that it's closer and more manageable to where I'm going to be using it. I've double checked my third hand. I've double checked that I'm on rappel. So now I can take off my backup anchor, clean that off of my PAS. I've double checked that the rope is through both rappel rings, and now I can unlock and take off my anchor now that I'm holding on to the brake strands with my right hand. As soon as I take off my anchor, I'm going to be live on the rappel, so I want to make sure that my hand stays on the brake strands. And I'm going to clip this in. And now I'm on rappel. As I go down, I want to make sure that I slide my third hand down so it doesn't get in the way of my rappel device, so it doesn't get caught. In case I were to fall or something catastrophic were to happen, my third hand is going to hold me if my hands come off the brake strand for any reason. The goal is to always hold on to the brake strand, but just in case, I have that third hand. Now I'm going to rappel down to the ground, and that's a wrap.